water is best, and gold, like a blazing fire in the night, stands out supreme of all lordly wealth. The words of the ancient Greek poet Pindar, penned 2,500 years ago, still echo the truth today. Water is a vital resource, touching all aspects of life. It is the universal force that shapes our world and sustains lives, economies, and ecosystems. Water knows no borders. Over 66 large marine ecosystems, more than 300 transboundary watersheds, and 360 aquifers cross national boundaries. Conserving these ecosystems and ensuring they are managed sustainably to face increasing and unprecedented threats requires that countries coordinate actions to secure a healthy environment for present and future generations. The Global Environment Facility GEF has led this effort for the past 30 years through the unique mandate of the International Waters Focal Area to support transboundary cooperation in shared marine and freshwater ecosystems.
From an international governance perspective, it's been the real shaker and mover when it comes to trying to accomplish things and improve the way international waters are managed and governed.
The GEF is the largest funding mechanism for multi-country international waters projects, supporting nations in developing agreements, frameworks, and innovative approaches for sustainable management of their shared water resources and ecosystems. To date, GEF-IW has funded over 470 international water projects across 157 countries, with grants exceeding $3 billion and co-financing reaching almost $20 billion.
I would see GEF as a mechanism bringing people together, bringing experts together, bringing governments together also.
It's GEF's job to help countries sign political and legal agreements. It's their job to help you pass national laws. It's up to the governments to develop regulatory programs with real enforcement, provide incentives for community-based action, and we can help to spur innovative investments to help communities. We have to work nationally, but we also can't forget about working locally.
This collective effort of the GEF International Waters community is essential for ensuring the health of our shared waters and securing a sustainable future for all.
There is not only an awareness being raised, but also impact being felt by individuals.
The International Waters Conference IWC is the key event for the GEF-IW portfolio. It brings together the projects and their stakeholders, practitioners, policymakers, academia, civil society and the private sector to share knowledge and experiences, discuss challenges and solutions, and showcase good practices. Since its inception in 2000, IWC, powered by IW Learn, has traveled the world. 2000, Budapest, Hungary. 2002, Dalian, China. 2005, Salvador, Brazil. 2007, Cape Town, South Africa. 2009, Cairns, Australia. 2011, Dubrovnik, Croatia. 2013, Bridgetown, Barbados. 2016, Negombo, Sri Lanka. 2018, Marrakesh, Morocco, and this year, in 2024, Punta del Este, Uruguay, for the 10th edition of IWC. In 2000, the first International Waters Conference in Budapest sparked a global dialogue on transboundary cooperation for managing shared water resources enabled by GEF, and became the inaugural event of a series to follow. In 2002, in Dalian, China, the focus expanded to regional cooperation and best practices. In 2005, IWC3 in Salvador, Brazil, brought public participation and innovative financing to the spotlight, while in 2007, IWC4 in Cape Town introduced interactive learning methods that deepened engagement.
It was wonderful to sit around tables and speak to people who probably ordinarily wouldn't have had a chance to be at the podium, interact with them.
In 2009, at IWC5 in Cairns, Australia, the spotlight turned to gender issues, acknowledging the essential role women play in water management. At the same time, voices grew louder about the impacts of climate change.
The Australian government has supported the GEF since its inception in 1991 to fund practical programs, shape policy reform in developing countries to tackle climate change, biodiversity loss, ozone depletion, contamination, persistent organic pollutants and degradation of land and transboundary water systems.
Because a lot of things have changed. The climate has changed, and I suppose we're looking at solutions to try to find how we can rectify what has been done.
The thing we can do is to take the pressure off the coral reefs. We can improve their resilience and their ability to survive, perhaps not unscathed, but to survive the extreme pressures of rising sea temperatures and falling pH.
Over the years, each IWC built on the lessons of the past, from celebrating GEF's milestones in Dubrovnik, Croatia in 2011, to addressing the unique challenges of small island developing states in Bridgetown, Barbados in 2013.
We don't want the way of fishing of the big company. They must change their way of fishing.
And discussions needs to take place, and before they can finalize anything, and there must be a way forward.
Our common shared resource is the Caribbean Sea. And any activity that takes place on land is going to affect our shared waters very, very quickly.
IWC continued to evolve, scaling up efforts in Negombo, Sri Lanka in 2016.
Peoples and countries are linked not only by rivers, seas, and oceans, but they also share a common dependence on the natural resources they provide. These areas in return can only support development and the creation of wealth across the globe if they are utilized and managed sustainably.
The global commons always suffer from two tragedies. One is the tragedy of commons, another is tragedy of horizon. And water in all its form is no exception to it. I want to continue to stand ready to support the work of IWLAN, which could be a very, very powerful instrument for the entire globe to achieve the SDGs.
The last time we met was in Marrakesh, Morocco in 2018, exploring new technologies and models for cooperation.
The GEF is gathering here in Morocco to celebrate its transponder portfolio that addresses all the different stresses in marine and freshwater ecosystems.
I ask all of you, have the courage to change when you feel change is necessary. Thank you very much for being different.
I think that the conclusion is that the International Focal Areas is doing just great.
Reconvening after 6 years, the 10th edition of the International Waters Conference in Punta del Este, hosted by the government of Uruguay, celebrates over 3 decades of GEF International Waters achievements and reflects on the journey that has brought us here. Centered on the theme, transformative actions and impacts for the water and ocean SDGs, the GEF IW response to the global challenge, IWC 10 gathers nearly 400 participants to learn from each other, share experiences, exchange ideas, and plan for the future of our shared freshwater and marine ecosystems. Welcome to IWC 10.